This is a spoiler-free zone, so don't worry, we're not going to go reveal what happened in the White Lotus finale, but let's talk about Carrie Coon's moving monologue about the meaning of life.
I had this epiphany today. I don't need religion or God to give my life meaning, because time gives it meaning.
All right, so do you think life has one grand purpose? What do you guys think? Okay.
Wow! No! I'm the same as you guys. I love that speech, and I read the rest of it, still haven't watched it, but it's straight out of, have you guys heard of Epicurus? He's a Greek philosopher. Thanks. Hey, buddy.
That one person.
I respect you, and I honor you.
That one person.
Thank you so much. But it's so interesting, because he's writing 2,300 years ago, essentially saying the same thing. Like, what is the meaning? What is it all about? And it's about the pursuit of happiness through simple pleasures, through conversations, maybe imbibing here and there, not too much, in a little food and wine, but never too much. And he didn't believe in an afterlife, so the idea is, this is what we got, live every day to the fullest. And so I love that. But what trips me up, bear with me, is that Epicurus, some of us remember his name 2,300 years ago, but for the majority of us, we're not gonna be remembered. That used to give me so much anxiety when I was younger.
Really?
This idea that, because you had so much space in front of you, obviously, when you're younger. Everything seemed infinite. But the older I get, the more I realize my name's gonna be forgotten, and most of ours throughout human history will be forgotten in a couple generations, if we're lucky.
Yeah.
And there's something freeing in that. There's something beautiful about it, like make it in the moment, like what we're doing now, that's the good stuff.
Oh my
That's
gosh, you know what?
everything.
Does that mean you're gonna start wiling out? Are you just gonna start wiling out, Jess?
Everything in moderation. Moderation.
Oh, right. I forgot that part. Oh, sorry.
I
do.
I love
that.
No?
I mean, I
This is
agree. I don't think
beautiful.
anybody has any idea what their purpose is, and those who say it, I'm kind of like, I think that we maybe have harped too much on that idea, and it stresses people out. People are constantly looking at, what's my purpose, what's my meaning of life? The other day, something struck me, though. I was having a conversation with my son, and I said something offhandedly, like I said, oh, I don't know how to fix things like your daddy does. And he goes, my son says, that's not true. You fix bad moods. And I was just like,
Stop
maybe
it.
that's my purpose. Maybe it is as simple as those little things about, like, you impact one or two people in your life, you surround yourself with as many people that you love, and you just kind of are as kind as possible. Like, could it be that simple? So maybe that is the meaning of life, or the purpose of life.
Paris Hilton.
Really sweet.
And they had it.
Nicole Richie.
Yeah.
Cut it down.
I just, you know what, just stick a pin for a second, because I also feel like this is a question that it depends on. If you're rich and you're asked this question, it's very cool, but if you're poor, it's kind of like people would think that you're crazy, because you have to have privilege in order to sit there and go, what is my purpose in life? What do I want? What's the impact I want to have? Meanwhile, you talk to a person who doesn't have means, to be like, I don't have time for purpose. I've got to get a roof over my head. I got food on the table. I got to get money. I got to make sure my kids are okay. So not everybody has that
purpose. I bet you.
No, but it doesn't feel like purpose. It's survival. It's not purpose. It's survival.
wonder.
As opposed to someone who can sit back and go, I don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay these bills, because everything's paid for. So let me sit down and really think about what I want to do with my life.
But you know what they say, research shows that people who are in sometimes the poorest countries in the world have a different sense of happiness than we do here in the West. So I think
because they know how to find happiness in the little things. But there are a lot of people, and including my own mother, and I know other women as well, who when you ask them, what was your purpose? They'll look at you and go, I don't really know. I didn't have time to think about that. I had to survive. I had to figure it out. I had to come to a country with nothing. So for me, sitting down and going, what's my purpose, was not something that I had the luxury of doing. I also think that we don't also value people who find their purpose until it turns into something. Take Jay Shetty, for example. Imagine having a friend who says, I'm gonna become a monk. I'm gonna go away, I'm gonna find my life's purpose. You would think, oh, here we go. He's gonna be living in his mama's basement forever. But then he becomes a successful author, podcaster, and life coach, and all of a sudden we're like, he found his life's purpose. Amazing.
So true.
So we don't always value it when a person takes the time to do that anyways.
I just rewatched Inside Llewyn Davis last night, an old Coen Brothers movie, and it was exactly that. It was like on the heels, right before Bob Dylan gets discovered, this guy, Llewyn Davis, is on the cusp of finding his purpose, being this folk musician, selling records, being famous, and he quits the same day that Bob Dylan is sort of discovered.
Yeah.
The idea that we're always on the cusp. We've been sold this dream, sort of like, what is your purpose? It is attached to your very being and who you are and how much money you make.
I wonder if it changes with stage and age in life. I think if you ask a 20-year-old, like, what's your purpose? I think the answer is going to be very different. And I think as you get older, what is the beauty of that? It's wisdom and understanding the things that maybe matter and don't matter. And quite frankly, the older we get, the closer we get to the finish line. And of course, that's going to change the way that we look at the world. I think now when I'm 47, turning 48 this year, and I think, what is my purpose? It's probably leaning more towards the simple stuff. I think younger, I would have said, career, the this. And today, it's like, be a good firstborn daughter and help my aging parents. That's purpose to me.
Yeah.
It's also about being a good mother. And what I mean by that is having a good life of my own. I think one of my purpose is, kill the demons so that you can be the most present and emotionally available for your child. It's about being a good role model for her. And part of that is actually a bit of YOLO, because I think that for me, living my fullest, biggest life proves to her that she can live her biggest, fullest, happiest life. Now, what does that mean? That's for each of us to understand.
Yeah.
So I think that it's probably age, and the older we get. My dad says that the devil isn't wise because he's the devil. The devil is wise because he's old. And there is something in that, which is the older you get, the longer you're here, you got more, hopefully, upstairs. So this is an answer for, I think, each of us individually. Guys, deep stuff. Why are we so deep on a Monday? We were talking sports, meaning of life. Who are we today?
Give us a little time off. When we come back, ready to talk.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.